Welcome to the Center for Teaching and Learning's workshop about using Poll Everywhere in an online course. I'm Jennifer, and I'll be walking through how to create poll questions, presenting polls in a synchronous course, exporting grades into Canvas, and then walking through the process and options for using polls in asynchronous courses. So first, let's get started by logging into polleverywhere.com. So if you go to polleverywhere.com in your browser, and then in the top right-hand corner, click on the login option. This should take you to a screen where you can enter your university email address. This is your original university email address, not an email alias if you use that. Click Next, and then you'll see a button to log in with UNC Charlotte NinerNet credentials. When you click this, you should be prompted to enter your university username and password, and then click Login. Once you're logged into Poll Everywhere, you should see your main screen under the Polls tab. This lists all questions and groups that you currently are using. The first step that you need to do is click on the Participants tab in order to connect the Canvas course or courses you wish to use polls in. In the top left of the Participants tab, you'll see an Add Participants button. Click that button and choose Connect to LMS. Then choose Canvas. If this is your first time using Poll Everywhere, you will need to go to the very bottom of this screen to choose the Login option under the Canvas accounts available for your institution section. Click the Login option and then choose the Authorize. This just means that you're allowing Poll Everywhere to talk with your Canvas course. Now you should see a link at the very top under Your Available Canvas Logins. From now on, you're all set. All you have to do is click this top link and then select the courses you want to use Poll Everywhere. So you can do the checkbox beside one or more courses and then click Continue at the bottom. We've got it. And now you'll see on the right-hand side the course or courses you selected showing in the display. That means you've successfully completed. So, to walk through that again, you log into Poll Everywhere, click the Participants tab along the top, and then click Add Participants, Connect to LMS, Canvas, the top available Canvas login, click the check mark beside the course or courses you want to use polls in, then click Continue, and got it. Now we've done the prep work. It's time to create polls. So let's click on the Polls tab in the top left of your screen. This tab is where you're able to create new poll questions. First, let's click the Create button to create a new poll question. Now you'll see the different poll question options you have to choose from. If you're using poll questions for grading purposes, the two automatically graded poll question types are multiple choice and clickable image. You can use the other poll question types, just bear in mind that you will have to grade those manually into Canvas. Once you choose the type of question you want to use, for this example we'll do multiple choice, you have the option to enter the title, which is your question, below. So we can say, what is today? Next, you can enter your answer options in the blanks provided below the question. Once I've entered my options, I can choose the Add Option button to add an additional choice, or along the right-hand side of each option, I have the trash can icon to delete my answer choice, and the image icon to use an image in place of text for an answer option. On the far left of each choice, I have a check mark to choose which answer or answers are options. And I have this grid icon so that I can drag and drop to reorder my answer choices. Once I've got all of my answer options entered, I've marked my correct answer option, and I've ordered them in the way that I want them displayed to students, I can scroll all the way to the bottom and click the Create button on the right-hand side. This brings you to a screen that gives a preview of your question on the left and additional settings to the right. Let's walk through the settings first. Under the Configure tab, you have how people can respond. The website option allows students to respond using a browser on their device, or they can install the Poll Everywhere app on a smartphone or a tablet. Text messaging is also an option available. For this example, I'm going to disable text messaging. Next, you have audience restrictions. So by default, all questions are restricted to only folks who have a Poll Everywhere account and are set up through UNC Charlotte. If students have personal accounts through Poll Everywhere, they will not be able to answer your questions. They must log in using the same login process you do. Go to polleverywhere.com, enter their UNC Charlotte email address, and then log in with their NinerNet credentials. Next, you have response settings, which outline how the student is able to respond to your question. Each person may respond one time. This is great for a multiple choice question because it only allows them to select one answer option at a time. However, if I wanted them to select 2 of my 3 options, I would need to change this to allow them to select 2 answer choices at once. Next, I can see they are allowed to change their answers. So as long as I am allowing responses to my question, they can change their answer until I close the question. Next, you see the option for Show Activity Title. If you've worked with Poll Everywhere in the past, we have recommended that to help prevent cheating, you choose Do Not Show Activity Title. However, when you're using this in an online course, you can't always guarantee that students are able to see you presenting this question in a synchronous session. So it's a good idea to leave this activity title displayed on all devices. The last option here is to schedule lock and unlock times. You are able to automatically set these times for being able to collect responses. Next is the Test tab. So here you're able to see a preview of what students will see when they look at your question. On the left-hand side, you'll see some additional settings available. When I click the Activate button, this will turn blue and you'll see my response link for students up along the top of my poll question. Once I'm done collecting responses during my course session, I can click the Activate again to turn the poll question off. Then I have options to show responses, which will give me a percentage of how many of each response students chose. I also have the option to show the correct answer. Now let's go back to the main polls section. Now that I've created this question, you'll see it here under the default group. Let's start a new group. I can select the question that I just created by clicking the checkbox to the left. Then along the top, I have the option for New Group. You can do this by whatever your preference is. Some folks like to do it by topic, others like to do it by class period. Then click Create Group. Now you see my new group with a question listed here. Once you've used questions, you have the ability to export grades into Canvas and archive and save responses so that you can recycle the question. First, let's show the process to export grades into Canvas. Click on the Reports tab in the top. Click Create Report. When you're wanting to export grades into Canvas, you need to choose the Gradebook Report template. So, Gradebook Report for Gradebook in Canvas. Click Next. Now you would click My Activities, the question group or the poll group that you're using, and then select the check mark beside the question or questions you want included in this report. Now click Finish. In the center, you'll be able to see a breakdown of responses for your question, and then on the right-hand side, you'll be able to see several additional options. Click the LMS Export option. Then from the drop-down, select the course that you want to export grades into and click the Points option here. Keep in mind that selecting points for this export does not impact how you calculate grades in Canvas. Whether you use percentages or points in Canvas gradebook, that is completely independent from this individual export. So, click the points just so that Poll Everywhere communicates nicely with Canvas. Then click Next. It will run the report for a short while, and then you'll get a nice congratulations message. I'm getting the export failed just because I don't have a gradebook set up in my course here. But you'll have a lovely message confirming that the export has been successful. And then once you log into your Canvas course, you'll see a new item created under the Assignments tab that is listed as the title of the question or report that you've exported. You'll also see a new column in the gradebook that provides all of the points for that poll or poll grouping. Okay, so we've walked through being able to connect to a Canvas course or courses so that you can use polls, creating a poll question and which poll questions can automatically be graded for Canvas, activating and presenting the question, and then exporting grades to Canvas. So now let's see how you can save and archive polls. Click on the Polls tab again along the top, and then select the poll question or group that you want to archive and recycle for another use. One example would be if I'm teaching multiple sections of the same course, or if I want to use the same question group between two different courses or two different semesters that I'm teaching. I can use the poll question or question group once, then I can save and archive my responses and recycle the question again for another course. So I select my question or question group, and then along the top menu, I have the option to clear. Once I click that option, I'm provided with the ability to name my archive file. This is completely up to you, but you want to be sure to provide a name that is memorable. So when you go to find it in the future, you know exactly what you're looking at. I typically provide the topic, or I enter my course number, and then I do the date. Click OK. Now I will see all of my responses cleared out, and I can go and find the archived versions later for reporting purposes. If you're interested in using multiple questions for students, a survey is a great way to do that. It's also the perfect setup for doing asynchronous polling. Click on the Create button to create a new poll and choose the Survey option. This allows you to enter the title of a survey, and then you can go below to choose the type of questions that you want to use. So for this first, I could use a multiple choice question, and then enter the title of the question along with my answer options. Now I can scroll to the bottom and click Add Another Question. I can repeat this process and choose my question type, enter my question and answer options here. Once I'm done creating my survey, I can click the Create button in the bottom right. The great thing about surveys is the fact that students can all take it at their own pace. So once a student begins the survey, they don't have to wait for everyone else to respond to the first question before continuing to the next. Again, you'll see a preview of your survey to the left and the Configure and Present tabs to the right. The Configure options provide your last choices for being able to do settings for your survey. Once you're done getting everything the way you like, you have this Present option in the far right. Under that is a share bar. When you click this to expand, you'll see Shareable Response link. This is the link that you want to copy to put into your Canvas course. All right, so we are going to copy this link and then jump into our Canvas class. So canvas.uncc.edu, log in here, and then under our modules, so I go to the appropriate module and click the plus sign on the right. I choose external URL and paste my shareable link for my poll survey here. Poll survey, and then add item. So now I see this poll survey 2 listed here, and I can go ahead and publish that. So now I have my poll survey linked in my Canvas course. You can follow the exact same process of sharing links for individual poll questions that we did for the poll survey itself. So if I go back to my poll tab, under the present, I have my shareable response link. This is the link to share for my survey. If I go back to my polls tab, I can click on an individual question, and then on the far right, the present and share option, and get a link to a single poll question. All right, so from start to finish, the first thing we do is go to polleverywhere.com and log in using our full university email address, not our alias, then our NinerNet username and password. Students follow the same process. They log in with their UNC Charlotte email address and then NinerNet and password. Now you go to the Participants tab and walk through the process to connect your Canvas course or courses by clicking the Add Participants button. Then you go to the Polls tab to create your questions. And remember, the automatically graded questions that can be used for Canvas are multiple choice and clickable image. If you use other question types, you'll just need to enter those grades manually into Canvas. Then you have the ability to run a report to export grades into Canvas. And the report option you want to use is Gradebook. Gradebook report for Gradebook in Canvas. Then, if you need to recycle questions for different courses or different semesters, you select the check mark to the left of that question or question group, and then choose the clear option. That concludes our workshop on Poll Everywhere online courses. Thanks, and have a great day.